Hello, and welcome back to Cosmos and Commerce. I'm your host, Michelle Cook from Body Ache Escape Massage Center, here with my co-host,
Janice Francis with the Humble Crate Artisan Marketplace and Remax Connection Realtors.
And today we have a special treat for all of you aspiring entrepreneurs and small business enthusiasts out there. With us today is the incredible Michelle, owner of AR Workshop in Pickerington, Ohio. This isn't just any workshop. It's a place where creativity meets community, where friends, families, and coworkers come together to craft stunning woodworking signs and unique decorations. Now, Michelle's journey through the world of business is no ordinary tale. She has managed to thrive in the world of business for 5 years, which is more than we can say for about half of small business startup. Without further ado, let's dive right into her story.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited.
Welcome, Michelle.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Michelle.
Thanks.
It's so nice to meet you. So, Michelle, can you share with us the story behind your first foray into the business world? What did your early days look like?
Yes. I just to start off, give you a little background. So I was in the corporate world for 8 years. I worked for Anheuser-Busch. She did all over the place. And so I had a business degree, a little bit of some business background. I moved all over the place in 8 years. Once I got back to Ohio, I wanted to settle down a little bit. But when I first opened the shop, it was a lot. As you guys know, opening a business is a little bit overwhelming. You have to prioritize. You have to make a million lists. You have to meet people. You have to do it all. So the beginning of the early days were very busy, very rewarding, but fun. Once we finally got down to understanding what we were doing every day.
Yeah. So was there a specific moment or inspiration that pushed you towards wanting to own a business of your own?
Yeah. So when like I said, when I had been wanting to open up a business for years and I had 50 different ideas. Oh, maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to do that. And I had actually gone down to Charlotte. My best friend was living in Charlotte at the time, and she booked us a class at an AR workshop down in Charlotte. And she was like, oh, you're going to love this. So as soon as we walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. And she is uber OCD with like everything. So like her project, she couldn't even talk the whole time. So I spent the entire 3 hours that I was in the workshop talking to the owners of that one. And I got out of there and I called my fiance at the time and I was like, this is what I want to do. And I had it was just like things just fell in place. Like all those other 50 things didn't work so that this one could work. And it just made sense. So that was in December and we were opened in the next August. So
that's quick.
Yeah.
That's quick.
That's about how long it took us to open too.
Really?
From decision to actual opening. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It took me a little bit longer to find a location.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a hard part.
Location. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why woodworking and decoration? Is there a story or a passion behind that specific niche other than what you just shared?
So it's funny, like growing up, I was horrible at art. Anything that's just like having to like freehand draw, I was like horrible at. And when I was moving all over the place, I was actually I lived in Manhattan, Kansas, in the middle of nowhere. And I had bought my first house and I didn't really know anybody and I turned Pinterest. And I bet I attempted to DIY 100 different things and probably 95 of them turned out horrible. But it was like honestly like how I got through that part of my life. Like I turned to like crafting and DIYing and I started actually dating my husband now out in Kansas. And we actually made these dog bowls that we still have in the shop. And there was a Pinterest page in Kansas. There were like 20,000 people on the page and people post things that they would make. And I posted these dog bowls and they just went crazy. So it was funny when I moved to Ohio after that, I was, oh man, that was so fun. We both loved doing that. So then when I went to AR, I was, oh my gosh, that's like what we love to do. So funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So before
Yeah.
AL Workshop, did you have any other experience in the industry or was it a leap of faith?
It was pretty much a leap of faith. It was, I was passionate about it. I was excited about it. Financially, it made sense. It wasn't going to break the bank. And more importantly, it like, I don't know if you guys, well, you're a realtor. I don't know, Michelle, you ever in corporate world or found yourself in a job where you just dreaded it every day. That's like where I was. So I was at a point where I was just like, I felt a relief. And even though it was like scary, it was definitely a leap of faith. But I was ready
I
to
can
do
so
it.
relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can so relate to that. I worked for the state of Ohio for 19 years before
Okay.
I quit to
Yeah.
do real estate, and I was
Yeah.
scared to death, but I was excited too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand your
Yeah.
feelings there.
Yeah. Waking up every day and just hating what you're doing is just not a fun way to live. I was
Mm-mm.
just like, I'm just gonna do it. Take a leap of faith.
Yeah. Other than the obvious, what are some initial fears or reservations you had about starting your own business, and how did you overcome that?
So my husband has been like behind me every step of the way, and he like helped me do the build, everything. He helped with everything. My family's been really helpful and supportive. Everybody's like kind of in Ohio and like really helpful. And there's other owners in Ohio that I was able to get really close with. So I have a really tight knit community within the franchise. So that's been really nice. But for anybody that wants to go out and start a business, you're betting on yourself. And you have to believe in yourself even when it's like hard. You're betting on yourself. And that's just it's a huge fear, but like with anything, it's you let your fears keep you in a box, you're not gonna do anything great. So that's why every day I had to remind myself, like, it's gonna be okay. Everything works out. If it doesn't work out, like, we'll figure it out. But thank goodness it has.
So, did you keep your corporate job for a little while or did you just jump right in?
I jumped right in. I put my 2 weeks in on June 1st, 2018. So then I got the keys to the store on June 1st too. So I was done June 15th, June 14th, and then we opened August 4th. So I was able to put like 2 full months into like getting everything the way that I wanted it to be. So that was nice.
Yeah, you burned the bridges. You had to make it work.
Yes. I sure did.
For those out there intrigued by the idea of franchise, can you briefly explain what franchising is and why you chose to go that route?
Yeah. So with franchising, the main thing is it's an established company that's already has proven technology and processes and ways of operation. And you just get to adapt all of those processes and ways to run your business, which was very intriguing to me as a first time business owner because it's hard. Like just figuring out a website and figuring out types of projects and how to make them cost effective and make your margins work and everything like that. So going with an established business and Air Workshop they weren't really established at that point. I think I was only like the 30th franchise to open, and now there's 50 of us throughout the country. But you are adapting and adopting their ways of how you run your business, and then you can put your own spin on things. And they tell you where
I was
to
just going to
sort.
ask if you had some free reign.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We have quite a bit. We have to stay on brand with a lot of things, but DIY is such like there's so many trends with DIY that like you have to stay up on things. DIY has been around forever, but it's evolves. It's like constantly evolving with, oh, I want to attempt to do this or do that. So it's like with us, it's being able to capture those trends and make it accessible for people so that they don't have to go out and buy a bunch of different things and all this different paint and all these different things, and they can make it at our shop. and leave the mess with us.
That's good.
Yeah.
Leave the
my
mess.
mom, yeah, my mom is big into crafts, and she's like, whenever she sees something in the store, she says, "I can make that." I said, "Mom, it would cost you triple to make that than it would to just buy the thing,
I
all
know,
the
right?
supplies you need."
Yes.
Yeah.
Not for a while before.
Oh, how many years do you think it puts you ahead buying into a franchise than if you would have started from nothing?
At least, I would say at least 2.
Uh,
Because it is, there's just so many things, like down to if you buy a 4x8 sheet of plywood, which is like a normal piece of plywood that you can buy at any lumber store, just like the little things of knowing the exact size, how you can utilize a full size of plywood. And yeah, that's basically how our sizes came about, is like taking a sheet of plywood, cutting it up, and not having any waste to anything. So they took all that guesswork out. And even just like the little things, like if you go in our store, like the light, the color of the lights, there was like a lot of colors affect your brain differently. So they did research on what makes people feel like happier and what like makes people like little stuff like that. And then just like down to our website's always changing. We have so many different options on our website for things that people actually make in the store. But there's so many like little things that you don't like. You started a business from scratch. I can't even imagine like how long, like all the little things that you had to figure out, and the insurance, and that there's just so many things that if you're a first time business owner, you don't know. So now I see all the little things as, oh, if I ever want to do something else, okay, I'm like constantly, I learn something new every day. Like I'm sure you guys do too. Like 5 years in,
yeah.
learn something
Yeah.
new every day. So I don't know, I'd say at least a year, 2 years. Cause I didn't, I had a grasp on from like my family, like being in the business world, but I came in blind. I was like, let's just do this.
It's really better that way.
Yeah, I know.
Good day. You got your passion and your drive, and then get you through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me what the initial experience was like when you decided to buy a franchise, like the details of what you had to do to obtain.
Yeah. So when I left that class, I pretty much on my way back to Ohio, I had sent an email to the franchising team through the AR Workshop website. There's like a little franchising area. So each company will have a franchising director I talked to her first, and then they had you fill out like a financial clip of just to make sure that you have like enough money. Each franchise will require that you have a net worth of a minimum of something. So they'll make sure that you have whatever the minimum is net worth to open the business. And then after that, they'll send you an NDA that you have to sign to be able to get any numbers, see how much everything costs, and you get like a full breakdown of like how to open your business. And then I was able to, they put me in touch with 5 or 6 different stores so I could talk to different stores and like how they run their business, and they have a manager, if they do it all themselves, how big their space is, everything like that. Um, and then once you talk to them and you can actually see numbers, then they'll send you a couple more things. They'll send you an SDD, a franchise disclosure statement that once you sign it, you have to wait 14 days before you can actually sign the franchise agreement. So if you are getting funding or if you are whatever it is, you just have to wait those 14 days before you can actually sign it. In that time, they'll send you literally I got like an entire binder full of everything it would take to open the business, how to like, how to build the table, really build all like everything that you could need. And I had a lot of calls with the franchise director, and I kept in touch with a lot of the other stores, just like any questions that I had. So I signed my franchise agreement on April 7th. And then I was like officially an owner. I had to write them a check. Each franchise will have a franchise fee. that is just like their fee for you to be able to take their name, basically. And then after that, I was trying to find a space in Pickerington. So there was already a store in Worthington, and there was a store in Grove City that had just opened. I live in Lowe's Center, but they basically told me the areas that I could go so that we were like all around Columbus and we weren't too close, because it's a lot different. If you're a coffee shop, you can be a couple of miles away. Like with this, like your radius needs to be a lot bigger to like, because we pull from like all over the place.
Yeah, because people will drive more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it's a lot of reading. You got to get a lawyer involved to read all the contracts and everything like that. But the process doesn't have to take that long. If you're getting funding, that's where it can hold you up to
get funding, or you were able to?
I was able to just pay for everything out of pocket, so I didn't have to get any funding. So I didn't have that hold up. Thank goodness.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
When I was looking to start Body Ache Escape, I looked at opening a massage envy first, because there wasn't one around me. And that franchise was just coming into the area 15 years ago. So I called them and I was like, what does it take? And they said, you have to have $100,000 in the bank. And I was like, what?
Never mind.
Yeah. And we started Body Ache Escape with $10,000. So
you did?
Yes. It was this is 15 years ago.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What made you want to do massage? Did you have background in that?
Yeah, I went to school for it 20 years ago. And I was a massage therapist for 6 or 7 years at the YMCA. And the YMCA was changing how they were doing things. So it was time to leave.
That's one thing I didn't forget. So you pay them a royalty every month. Every franchise.
You pay them a royalty. Okay. Yeah. So what is like the startup cost for an AR workshop? Is it as much as Massage Envy, or is it around like the same? Or
yeah, it's pretty much around the same. It varies. When I opened 5 years ago, they're saying it's $60,000 more than when I opened, just because the cost of everything has gone up so much.
Wow.
Which is crazy. Just to get your doors open. It varies. So with any franchise, they're going to give you a low number and a high number. And then based on, like with us, we can choose to have a lot of retail or not a lot of retail, or we can choose to, we make candles. You can choose not to make candles. We have our own patch bar now. So you can pick and choose if you want to do certain things or if you want to do them later. I went all in and I was just like, let's just go. I want to like have as much there as possible. The candles and the patch bar were added later, but I went all in at the beginning. Just till we're going to do it, we might as well go big.
Yeah. So I know that one of my friends is a AR workshop groupie, I would say. She's in there all the time.
Really? For sure. Yes. So in the journey of building AR workshop in Pickerington, what would you say was the single most challenging obstacle that you faced?
Probably just not living actually in Pickerington. Pickerington's such like a close knit, like a big town, but it still has that like small town feel. So not having kids through the schools, not living there, I literally would go out with brochures myself and like walk to businesses and like hand out brochures just to be like, hey, we're coming to town. It was a lot just because I felt like a little bit of an outsider, but then I just met so many people now where I definitely don't feel that now, and everybody's so great. That was hard at the beginning. That was scary.
Yeah. I think the business world and the chamber, and the first time I went to any of those, I just felt very welcomed. I never felt intimidated. And I think I think this town is really special.
Really, yeah. It really is. Because I look at a lot of my friends that own other ARs everywhere. It's definitely not the same community feel, like at all. So I feel very lucky to be a part of it. Yeah.
We're lucky to have you. Yeah. Can you share a pivotal moment or a win that really solidified your belief in the business?
So our grand opening. I was so stressed out. I had done so much leading up those few months prior. And I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, if we have 5 people at this grand opening, I'm going to be really sad. And the day came and so we're in the Kroger shopping center on 256 and it was 100 degrees out that day. And we had a line starting like 2 hours before we opened that went all the way to the Kroger. And it was like still to this day, it just gives me the chills. Like it was for 3 hours. It was just packed. Like just the entire time. We did like
I remember.
takes. Oh my gosh. That was a great way to start and just be like, okay, I made the right decision. It'll be fine.
You can ride on that high for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
I definitely did.
How have you pivoted or adapted when facing adversity or unexpected challenges?
So I'm sure with all of us, when the pandemic hit, we are a very hands-on business. Like you come into the store to make stuff. We're helping you like not in your face, but like we're in your space. So once COVID hit, we as a company really had to like figure out what we were going to do. So we pivoted to go kits very quickly, like within 4 days. So we went from everything was in the store to we came up with little kits that people could order online. We get them all ready. We give them instructions, paint, the wood, everything that they need to make their projects. And it was a big curveball, but it was something that we were able to do like very quickly so that we didn't really like, we were closed, like people couldn't come in, but we were able to like actually keep some revenue coming. Thank goodness. Because that was with all of us, like very scary thing to have to go through.
Did your landlord give you any sort of help on the rent or did you still have to pay the full amount?
He did. He gave us 2 free months. And he did it. Nice. Yeah. And so Kroger owns my building. So I was like, I'm not going to help them. But shockingly, and I think a lot of landlords were putting that at the end of their lease. So you weren't really getting free. It was just like put on the back. And ours was actually free. So we got to free rent, which was amazing.
That's nice.
Yeah. What about you guys?
They did. I had to pay.
Serious?
Yeah. But mine is a little bit different. The way I pivoted was I did appointment shopping and I did deliveries and curbside pickups and I did FaceTime shopping with people.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Plus my real estate is essential or considered essential job. So I was able to still work real estate.
Oh, that's good.
Kept the doors open.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
We were able to get the grant money, the PPP.
Okay. Yeah.
So it helped.
Yeah. That's good. How long were you guys closed, Michelle?
2 months.
2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And yours is even more up close and personal because you're touching everybody.
Yeah. I was like, how is this even going to work? I don't know.
I know.
It worked, I guess. There's some people who still come in their masks.
Really?
Crazy times.
Oh my gosh. So crazy. Yeah. Hopefully that never happens again.
My turn.
Yeah.
With so many businesses vying for attention, what marketing strategies have you found most effective for AR work?
Marketing's hard to get your name out there. I don't know if you guys do this too. It's hard. And I used to be able to post on Facebook and people that wanted to see us would see the post instantly. And it's just not like that anymore. Unless you're like paying for every single thing that you post, people just don't see your stuff. That's why I started doing like the local collabs, like with you guys, Michelle, anybody that I can like that's local that wants to do something. Because then you have power in multiple companies that are posting the same thing, getting your name out there and everything. So that's been we do a lot of like offsite things at breweries, restaurants and like stuff like that. So that's been really helpful to us to get our name out there and like other areas of Columbus. It's not just Pickerington, but also using their followers, people that like go there to get business too. And then really just our repeat customer rate pretty high. So our like word of mouth or like our repeat customers, we call them raving fans. They are like if you get somebody that wants to come in and they love it, then they're gonna go and tell 3 other people, and they may bring them in, and then they may love it, and then so it's ours is a lot of
all their different groups of friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because ours is like, it's an experience. Like, we want their projects to turn out good, but like, more than anything, like, it's a night with your friends or your coworkers or your, family or whoever to go out and be crafty. What about you guys? What do you guys do for marketing?
I made it so that whenever anybody searches massage near me or something, that we pop up pretty high.
Yeah.
So that's our number one way. And then word of mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What
hard.
about you, Jen?
Mine's pretty word of mouth too. I get a lot of people coming in say, "Oh, my friend got something here the other day and told me to come in here." Word of mouth advertising is just priceless.
Yeah.
Priceless. But I do take out some print ads, and somebody came in the other day because of something that was in the Pickerington's Best magazine or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be this broadcast.
And now, we're all of us. We're all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you share a campaign or strategy that you feel particularly proud of and that had it big impact?
Yes. So I actually help with corporate research and development. So I have actually been a part of, I don't know if you guys have seen, we do Chunky Knit Pumpkin with our like big thick yarn. That's really cute. So I have come up with the Chunky Knit Pumpkins where like kind of we saw one thing and then I was able to modify the whole thing to make it AR. And then so there's been like 4 or 5 different projects that I've been able to work on in Pickerington, and then we get to roll it out nationally. Those are fun things to work on. The pumpkins were the first thing that I got to do, and they're still going strong today. So
so they get to see it first at your shop, huh?
yes.
Ooh.
I know.
So as entrepreneurs, we all have those lessons we wish we have known beforehand. What's something significant that you had to learn the hard way?
Oh man, I feel like there's so many. Probably the one that I have had to work on the most is you're not going to make everybody happy. I am a people pleaser at heart, and I want every single human that walks into my space to love 100% of it, and that's just not realistic. And even though they're choosing to come in, some people just don't want to be happy. And that was really hard for me to process and think that it's me, but it's not the shop. No, it's not. It's not what they're doing. It's just maybe it's a work outing and they had to come. And then they just wanted to do it. Like, that was really hard for me. And in 5 years, we've had 2 bad reviews and I let it like ruin day. That's just, it's hard as humans. We see 1,000 positive things and we let one negative thing take us down.
Yeah.
So that was hard at the beginning. If anybody had anything like negative to say, I like really took it to heart. But it's just, you can't. When you're in a business, you're not going to make 100% of people that walk in your doors happy. And that's okay. As long as 99% of people like what you're doing, it's okay.
You have 100 other positive reviews. So concentrate on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. And there's ups and downs of business. There's ebbs and flows, and you got to figure out, like, when you're on a high, you got to figure out how to ride that high. And when you're on a low, you got to figure out what you do to climb yourself out with anything in life. But there's a lot of ebbs and flows in business.
Yeah.
So you guys,
I took a business class. They called it the entrepreneur roller coaster.
So
it's with every business owner.
everything.
Is it a book? Is that a book too, Michelle?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I
like
think it is.
Darren Hardy or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I would like to read that.
Yeah,
It was good.
I know, right?
It was a good one to listen to. He read it. He was.
I'll have to look it up.
If you could travel back to the day AR workshop opened, what advice would you give yourself?
Find one thing every day to be proud of. Because I feel as
Good.
business owners, we are problem solving a lot, which can take us down more of not a negative path, but like you're focused on like some things. And then you're not like, oh, that was really good that I did today, or that was good that this happened this week. So
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good
maybe
point.
not every day, but every couple days, pat yourself on the back a little bit that you're still going.
Yeah. Focus on the good.
Yes.
Okay. Success is often accumulation of daily habits. Are there any rituals or habits that you credit to your business success?
Maybe not like rituals, but I think just like surrounding yourself with people that like uplift you and that make you want to do better. And I would say that because there's been a couple people that have come into the shop to like work or whatever, and you can like definitely feel that like shift in energy. And I've struggled with that. So not like a ritual or like something that I do every day, but like just making sure that like you're constantly, your team's good, the people that you're surrounding yourself with are uplifting you and not dragging you down in some type of way. What about you guys? Do you guys do any rituals or anything?
I think I'm going to start one every time an employee leaves or sage the office.
That's a good idea. I like that. It is crazy though. When like the vibes, when there's not a great one in there, like it's very apparent with everybody, with the whole class. That's how we feel anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I
like
don't really
to.
have a
Oh,
staff. It's just me. So
Yeah,
I
that's good.
kind of try to
You bring the
uplift
good
my own.
vibes. Yeah.
I try to bring it on myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on, leave it at the
Yeah.
door.
I like it.
I like to, when I wake up, I like to start my day with a good cup of coffee and read a little bit of some sort of professional development book.
Yeah.
So that's one of my winning.
I love it.
I've been riding my bike every morning now.
Oh,
That's good.
nice.
I know. I've been doing pretty good.
That's great. We've
Not-
been in a
I'm knocking
walk.
on wood here.
Yeah.
Knocking on wood.
How do you ensure a work-life balance, especially owning such a hands-on community-based business?
This took me like 3 years to figure out because I thought that I needed to be there 24/7, work every class, do everything.
Yeah.
And you just don't have to. Once you have a good team in place, now I try to be there. We're usually closed like during the summer and like spring and summer, we're closed Monday, Tuesday, and then we're open the rest of the week. So like during the week, I try to leave before the classes start. So I get everything ready and then have my girls come in and they work the class and I'm not be there. And then I'll still come in Saturday mornings, but I'm trying to like let them handle things and me just not have to be there 24 because you don't have to be. Yeah. It took me a while to figure out, but I'm in a good place. Much better.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I switched into that like business owner mentality where I was just like, I hired the people to do it, let them do it, and I can step out and just oversee everything.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
it was
hard
great.
to delegate because you feel the people aren't going to do things the way, even though they get the job done, they may not do it exactly the same way you do it. And it's hard to be hands off. But if you pick good people, then they'll get the job done. But it's hard to give
Yeah,
up. All.
I think that I made that mentality switch when I was like, I'm not going to get to where I want to go being a control freak and having to like tell everybody exactly how to do things.
Yes.
If I want to go far, I need to like give up some of that.
Yes, for sure. And I think with both of us, Michelle, we both have it's not like you're going through a drive-through and getting a coffee and interactions for 20 seconds. It's like you're with somebody with you for an hour or 2 hours. And with me, it's 2.5 to 3 hours. So it's so personal that it's like, you can get caught up in, they're not as bubbly or they're not as friendly or they're not as helpful or whatever. But you train your people, then they should be, they'll get the job done
Yeah.
in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah. So your business is centered around fun and creativity. How do you incorporate that same spirit of fun into your personal life?
We do a lot of DIY at our house too.
Oh,
My husband, when he was growing up, his dad they used to build houses. So I make him do a lot of things around here. I find fun. He probably doesn't. But my family's like here or in Ohio too. So we do a lot with our family and we just try to have fun. Just we enjoy each other. We've only been married for 5 years. It's been fun
so
doing
you
this
got
together.
married and you opened the shop at the same.
Yes.
I did the same thing.
Did you really?
No.
looking at. Oh
I
my
got
God.
married. I opened a Body Escape in June and got married in August
Oh my gosh,
of
no way.
2010. What about
We
you?
got-
When is
We got married. So we got married in June and then opened in August.
That is like this. You're like the same.
Yeah,
the
that
same
is so
name,
funny.
So 2 years
Olivia.
apart.
That is hilarious.
oh my god.
Ready
That's
for this
awesome.
roller coaster, honey?
Yeah, hang on.
Hang on, here we go.
Yeah, I always tell Joe that it's because of him that I haven't had enough gut to open my own place.
Yeah,
That I wouldn't have done it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
He was
I
my
blame him.
he was
Yeah.
like my steady.
I
Your
can't
full
imagine
support.
doing it
Yeah.
without the support. It's a lot.
know.
yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Dave's been real supportive with me too, because
Good.
it was hard. When I
Yeah.
quit my state job, I was at my state job 19 years, right?
Wow. Yeah.
2 little boys, a mortgage, and I quit that steady job to sell real estate. Complete. Looking back,
Yeah.
I'm like, what was I thinking? But the journey I've been on since then, meeting Michelle and everybody at the chamber and just all the people I've met, it's just, I can't imagine having stayed at the state
Right.
for 30 years. And
Yeah.
You knew Dave wasn't going to let you be homeless. So that helped. We didn't have somebody that's not going to let you be homeless.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
No,
He's a good
good.
guy. So, what's your most memorable event or moment that's happened at AR Workshop that still brings a smile to your face?
So we opened in August and then we released Chunky Knit Blanket in the late September. So we were open August 4th and mid-September. We launched the blankets and it was unlike anything I could have even imagined. Like I would post a blanket class on Facebook and it would be sold out in 5 minutes. Every single one for a year and a half. It was so that first holiday season that we were open was like so crazy madness. Just like it was just wild. And we closed for the holiday. Our last day was December 23rd. And I don't think I had taken like a second to like breathe and take it all in. And I remember it was like probably 9:30 and December 23rd. And I locked the front door and I just took a step back and looked at the store. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was like I needed a couple of days to like breathe because we came back and it was crazy. But I remember that just like standing there, like looking at the shop. And I just stood there for 5 minutes. And oh my gosh, it's going to be okay. You did this. We're doing good. And it was just a really special moment. Just
That made me cry. That brought a tear. Honestly, because I'm like thinking,
yeah.
I can relate to that so much. Michelle, you probably can too. You're like, look what I've done.
Yeah. And I feel there's so many days where I suck at this. I'm like not good at this. And then you like stand back and you're just like all of us, we're still open through COVID. That alone is like a thing that a lot of people can't say. Like we kept jobs for people in town and because it was really hard.
Okay, so after hearing about your cool story and all the smart stuff you've shared, let's spice things up with some fast questions. We are going to throw some quick questions at you, and we can't wait to hear your quick answers. Are you ready for this fun?
I'm ready.
What is the book you've most given as a gift or the book that's made the biggest difference in your life?
The power of positive thinking.
Okay. What purchase of $100 or less has most positively impacted your life?
We adopted one of our dogs for $80, and he's hilarious, and I love him so much.
What kind of dog?
He's a Boston Terrier. We have 2 right now. One just passed away last month. We had 3, but now we have 2, and they're hilarious. So I wish I could have the 100. I love dogs.
Oh,
What's an unusual habit or an absurd thing that you love?
I still have a baby blanket that I keep in my bed that I rub.
brings you comfort.
It
It was yours from when you were a baby.
Yep, it's weird. It's
Wow.
very strange, but I still have it.
Oh,
No, I'm proud of it.
yeah, that's awesome. I'm impressed you still have it.
I know.
Oh, it's in shambles, but yes, it's still there.
So, what is your proudest accomplishment?
Definitely the shop, still being here through everything. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is your current passion project?
My sister and I and my husband have been on like a little bit of a health walking journey that we've done this summer. And so we've taken on dog walking in the morning, and I love it. So we walk dogs for people around, and I love it. It's so
Nice.
fun just to get our steps in.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is one skill that you would like to master?
My sister is a Excel wizard. It truly blows my mind. I have her do a lot of analytical stuff for me, and I need to sit down and actually learn it instead of her doing it. And so, yeah, I would love to excel in business analytics and like doing all that through Excel. Because like I understand it, I can do it, I can put together stuff, but I want to like really dive in and like nerd out on it.
I get that.
Do you believe in the power of manifestation?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. Do you guys?
We do
believe
too.
in it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
This
I
is
need to think about something to manifest.
Last August, there was like one of the Power Man things, and it was like write down your whatever. And so I did it, and I wrote down what I wanted to accomplish by the next year and keep it in my book. Whatever book I'm reading, I keep it in my book.
Yeah.
I don't read it, but I just
Have you
keep it
done it
there
yet?
as like, I know what's on there. From last year, I have accomplished 3 of the 6 things. So that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 3 of 6. So then I
That's-
added those 3 to my next list. So
Oh, that's
Nice.
great. So, what was your first job?
I worked at LA Tanning when I was 15.
Nice. Did you do it for the free tanning?
Yes, I did. How horrible of Elise to do that. Oh my gosh, don't do that. Don't tan.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
We would love to buy some land and have a bunch of acres and be in like a peaceful place where we're like happy, peaceful, not in a neighborhood with a bunch of people, and yeah, peaceful.
With 100 dogs.
With $100, yes. A dog sanctuary, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. So, do you have a pump up song? What's your pump up song?
Anything T Swift. Anything Taylor Swift.
Oh, did you get to go to her concert?
No, I was out of town when she was in Ohio, and I've had the biggest FOMO of that concert. Not being able to go.
So many posts. I hear she puts on a great show.
Oh my gosh. I've been to 4 of her other concerts, but I was so bummed. I know.
Since we are called Cosmos and Commerce, what is your drink of choice?
I love wine, but if I'm like at a restaurant or something, I gravitate more toward the Manhattan. I like bourbon.
So sophisticated.
Yes.
Fancy.
I went to the University of Kentucky, so there was a lot of bourbon happening.
Oh, okay.
Once I was 21.
Would you rather create a massive woodworking masterpiece that takes a year to finish but lasts for generations, or have the ability to whip up a unique, beautiful decoration in just 5 minutes, but it only lasts a month?
If I was really good at woodworking, I would definitely pick the woodworking piece, but I feel like we're more like DIY, which follows the trend. I would go for the second one. I like new things. I like coming up with new things. Probably the second.
Okay.
All right. Finally, what is next for you? Are there any exciting projects or ventures on the horizon that you'd like to share with our audience?
We have a lot of really fun new things coming up at the shop. If you haven't been, we'd love for you to come check us out at AR Workshop Pickerington. We've actually been in talks with a couple other franchises too, opening up something else, but I don't know. I feel like with everything going on, it's just a busy time. Everybody's so busy everywhere. So focusing on the shop and coming up with new stuff, and hopefully we're around for another 5 years. We want to be.
Hopefully longer than that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least.
Where can our listeners find more about you? Tell us where they can get in contact with you.
Yeah. Our website's AR Workshop, www.arworkshop.com/Pickerington. We're on Facebook, AR Workshop Pickerington. We're on Instagram, AR Workshop Pickerington. And we're at the store pretty much every day off Hill Road.
What's your physical address? We're on Hill Road. What is your physical address?
It's 1039 Hill Road North.
And do people ever just walk in? And do you have walk-ins, or does it have to be appointment?
We prefer it to be appointments, but we do candles now that anybody can walk in and do. We have our patch bar that anybody can walk in and do. And then we actually have some smaller projects that you can walk in and do. They just won't be like personalized with your name or anything like that. So yeah, we do have that kind of stuff available for people to just walk in.
Okay. The patch bar.
So, do we have one in here? So, have you seen like the bags that have like a name with like a little patch on it? Like
okay,
it'll say like
a brownie
things.
patch, like a Girl Scout badge.
So let me grab one for you. Give me 2
Okay.
seconds.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. Waiting with bated breath.
Okay, this is one of our crossbody bags.
Those crossbody bags are so popular right now.
And then you pick the patch that you want on it.
Oh, okay.
We have different like size bags that you can choose. And then we do sweatshirts and shirts and stuff like that too.
Okay.
So they're like embroidered.
They're not embroidered. They're the 3M thing, and then we add glue. So they're not, they don't go anywhere. Yeah.
Gotcha.
These have been really fun. Yeah. And then we have, besides letters, soccer balls and basketballs and it's rainbows and stuff like that too.
Yes.
Unicorns. All kinds to choose from.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your wisdom, experiences, and heart with our audience. It's been truly enlightening, and I'm sure our listeners have taken away a wealth of knowledge. For those tuning in, if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to Cosmos and Commerce and share it with someone you think would benefit. Until next time, stay inspired, keep crafting your own journey, and of course, never shy away from mixing a bit of cocktails with commerce. Cheers.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to get to know you.
You too.